the first few days after 9/11, Myers, NORAD, and others were saying, we didn't send up any flights until after the Pentagon was hit. Well, that wasn't going to wash. That looks like a stand down where you say, well, just let it happen. So then they start telling us, and CBS says on Tuesday night, oh no, they sent up flights, but they just didn't get there on time. And that became official then on September 18th. They came out with their timeline. They said, here's when the FAA told us, and here's when we scrambled airplanes, and unfortunately they just couldn't get there in time. Now, then in the meantime, critics have looked at those timelines and said, you still could have made it. You could have stopped Flight 175. You certainly could have stopped Flight 77, assuming it was. And so we've got a third story here. They give us a new timeline which says we had 9 minutes notice for Flight 11, and that wasn't enough because it took 8 minutes for NEADS, NORAD in Northeast, to call Florida to get permission to send up planes, which is, ridiculous. An 8-minute phone call when you've got a crisis. And then no warning whatsoever. So they tell you that what we've been told since September 18th is all false. When September 18th, NORAD's timeline said we got a notification of Flight 175 at 8:43, the 9/11 Commission says, no, that was a mistake. They didn't know about it until the South Tower was hit. And then Flight 77, they said, well, we got notification at 9:24. No notification. We only heard about it 2 minutes ahead of time, just in time to send up a guy and look at it and say, yeah, that's a Boeing 757, all right, just before it crashed. And then with Flight 93, no warning whatsoever. So just a complete rewriting of history. And revisionism is fine, but you've got to show why the old story was false and why the new story is more credible. They don't do that. They just say, that was incorrect. That was incorrect. Here's the truth, and then you look at the notes. It looks very scholarly because they've got all these books and the notes in the back, but you look at the crucial ones and it says, interview with General Myers, interview with General Everhart, interview with the Secret Service, interview with the FBI agents. I hate to tell you this, but this is the sad story of truth and politics in Washington in these here days. Thank you very much.